Yo, how you doing? Negan here. No, I'm not gonna do this. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Greg here, and let's talk about The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 14, titled The Other Side. Just got done watching it, thought this was a fairly decent episode. Not a lot of action happened, not too much action at all. But we open up at the hillside, that's where this story takes place, and everybody's training, getting ready to defend themselves, learning how to, use knives, go whoosh, 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 and all that good stuff. Sasha's training them. You get to see Maggie's baby on the monitor. That's doing fine. Enid's there. Darryl's there. They're hanging out. There's some sort of weird chemistry going on between Maggie and Darryl right now. She comes to try and kind of comfort Darryl a little bit by putting a hand on the shoulder. He kind of doesn't even really look at her. Just kind of like, what's going on between them. And then out of nowhere, boom, boom, saviors come. So they're coming, and they need to talk to Gregory for some reason. Knowing that Darryl shouldn't be there and Maggie is supposedly dead, they go hide. And as the saviors arrive, Sasha goes in this tunnel hole thing, and she sneaks out somehow, and her and Rosita now are on their mission, while Darryl and Maggie are hiding. The episode goes on a little bit farther, and now it's really mainly focused on Sasha and Rosita. They're trying to clear a path to get to the saviors because they want to get into like a 3 or 4 story building so they can take a clear shot at Negan and hopefully kill him and end this situation. Together, they're not getting along. Sasha keeps trying to talk to her about some things, like where'd you learn how to dismantle bombs and all that stuff. And Rosita's just like, hey, I want nothing to do with you. We're not here. The only thing we can talk about is the mission. Other than that, I don't have anything to say to you. Nothing I want to talk about. Meanwhile, the saviors, still back at the hilltop, they're looking around for things. They talk to Gregory, and what they end up revealing to him is that they want to take their Dr. Carson, which turned out to be the brother of the doctor that Negan threw into the fire in a few episodes back. So they take the doctor. Sasha and Rosita are out on their own. Then there's this moment with Maggie and Darryl because they were hiding, so now they're in this cellar together, and Maggie goes, what's wrong with you, man? Like, you haven't said one word to me since you've been back. And it just breaks down Darryl, and he looks at Maggie, and he's just like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. Glenn dying was my fault. And Maggie's like, no, it's not your fault. Glenn thought you were one of the best people in this world. It's not your fault. And he's crying, and she's crying, and, I really felt for Darryl when he was crying, but, Maggie's performance, I didn't really feel too much from. I kind of was just watching her act, I felt, as opposed to Darryl, who was actually, like, crying, which I was like, every time Darryl cries, it's like, Ugh. And then you have Sasha and Rosita again. They finally make it to this 3 or 4 story building. They get up to the top. They're looking through their scope to try and scope out the savior's spot. And they end up seeing Eugene, and he's standing there. He's giving orders. He's looking like a savior. And they're like, man, we got to go save him too. So then they go to take the shot when Negan comes because Dr. Carson has arrived. So Negan's at the front gate to welcome him. And Sasha's about to take the shot, but she couldn't get a clear shot. And they're like, crap, we got to do plan B. We have to go in. We're probably going to die, but, I got your back. Rosita's like, I got your back. And they go into where the saviors are. Now Rosita and Sasha are trying to break into this chain link fence, and they can't because they need some time. So Rosita's got Sasha's back, and she has her back turned like this. And Sasha is breaking into the fence, trying to get through. And she says, hey, keep your back turned a little bit. I need a little bit more time. Come to find out, Sasha is chaining back up the fence because she's saying, hey, the hilltop needs you. I can't let you get into this mission and die. The hilltop needs you, so you got to go. And Sasha runs in, and that's the last we see of her so far. All right, now, what did I think about this episode? I thought this was a good episode. I actually enjoyed it. I will say that I enjoyed the first half of the episode a lot more than the back half because whenever the saviors are on screen and they're roughing around one of our favorite groups, it always leaves me uneasy. My stomach's always like turning a little bit, so I really enjoy when they're on screen. And once they left, I kind of just like, I'm not going to say I lost interest in the episode, but I definitely wasn't like on the edge of my seat anymore. I was just kind of like watching the episode just to see what's going on in the episode. The Maggie and Darryl scene, like I said, I didn't really feel too much when Maggie was talking. I mean, I wanted to, I just didn't. But when Darryl was talking, he's like, I'm sorry. Or since it sounds like he smokes 12 packs a day, I'm sorry. He's all mumbled now. But anyways, he was talking and he was crying and it really made me feel for him. And I was like, oh, Darryl, man. And then Sasha and Rosita, they're both talking and Rosita's opening up with Sasha about, where she came from, how she used to just like play stupid so that big macho guys would take care of her. And once Rosita learned, the traits that these people had and the tools that they could offer, she just up and bounced. It wasn't until Abraham that she realized that, like, I'm actually falling for this dude because he saw me as somebody who can contribute, somebody who could hold their own weight. And that basically, like, she loved that. So that's where their connection was. And when Abraham and her got to Alexandria, he settled into the town and like that lifestyle way faster than she did. And he ended up leaving her and getting with Sasha. And, Rosita saying, I'm not even upset that you kind of ditched out on me and got with Sasha. I wasn't even upset at Sasha for that. I didn't hate you for that, Sasha. I'm mad that I never got the opportunity to tell Abraham that, I'm happy that he's finally happy, and she started crying over that, which I actually felt like, oh man, that sucks. That was the only moment from her that I actually was like, oh. But then when Sasha was talking and she was just like, I'm sorry, like, it sucks, like she didn't really even have much dialogue, but it's just I felt her emotion was way better acted than Rosita's. So that's how I feel about those two main scenes. Let's talk about Gregory real quick. It sucks that that's my name too, because he's such a douche in this show. But he's talking to one of the head saviors, and basically he's just like, I'm here, I'm a team player, I'll work with you and stuff. And he's just kind of like, man, he's talking to Jesus at the end of the episode, and he kind of says something, and Jesus is like, are you threatening me? That was a threat. And Gregory's like, hey, I just look out for my friends, and you and me are not friends. So I have a feeling that Gregory is going to be definitely backstabbing somebody in the future, and I just actually hope he gets backstabbed and gets murdered, because I hate that idiot. He's a douchebag. Overall, I thought this was a good episode. What do I think is going to happen from this point on? Well, the last thing we saw is Rosita was running away from the savior spot, and she sees somebody with a crossbow who's in the shadows, so I'm assuming that's Darryl, because at some point in the episode he was like, well, where's Sasha and where's Rosita? Where's Sasha, where's Rosita? And that he went after them. So I think that's where they meet up. Sasha ran into the sanctuary where the saviors are, and I don't know if we're supposed to assume that she died and it was a suicide mission, or if she actually got through. We're not going to find that out anytime soon, I don't think. Like I said, another prediction is I think Gregory is going to really, really backstab Maggie and Darryl somehow to try and get good on the savior's side. I think the Saviors are soon going to find out about Darryl and Maggie, and something's going to happen. I don't know. That's what I love about this show, is it keeps me wanting more and want to know what's going to happen. Do I think by the end of this season, which is 2 episodes left, that they're going to have a big shootout with Negan and kill all the Saviors and stuff? No, I don't think that. I just think that in the next episode, we're going to probably meet up with Oceanside and try and work something out with them. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching my review of Season 7, Episode 14 of The Walking Dead. I would love to know your guys' opinions, your thoughts, your predictions, how you felt about this episode. Comment down below. So please do me a favor. Comment, like I said, like this video, share this video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that little bell so you can get notified when I have a new video for you. Thank you again, everybody, for watching, and remember to watch a movie, man.